Hey, what's up guys, it is Saintsfan. Welcome back to another episode of the GTA 5 Q&A, and today we have a ton of questions, so we're going to hop right into them. But before we do that, I will say if you do want to ask me a question, all you have to do is use the hashtag AskSaints on Twitter, and I will see it for next week. The first one from Adrian. What car selection are the races going to be, you think? And he's talking about the Stunt, or the Cunning Stunts DLC that Rockstar mentioned last week. Honestly, I'm not even sure if Rockstar are even going to add a new stunt class. One, because the classes in the game right now are pretty broken, like especially for the hardcore racing community. They've been complaining about that for a really long time. And if Rockstar were to add like another class, it would probably be the same, or the same stuff would happen. Like there would be cars that just completely dominate over, you know, some of these other ones, and you would have to use, if you wanted to compete and actually win, you'd have to use the best of the best. From the picture that they showed us, it looked like there's supercars in there, so we can't really see if there's going to be some new classes or something, because obviously you can just race with supercars as is. But speaking of the racing community, with this update, you know, it would be a great opportunity for them to finally fix the issues that are in the game with racing and balancing classes and all that. Like, I don't know how well a stunt class would be for races, unless they added like a bunch of stunting vehicles like go-karts and some other crazy stuff like that, which I'll get into in another second. What they could do maybe is either create a new class for like Benny's cars, like the 900R and the Sultan RS, because those are in the super category now. They don't really make much sense in that category. They definitely fit more with the sports category. Or maybe they, instead of making a new class, they just sort of fix what they have already. Move the 900R and Sultan back to sports, and then fix all the like the other classes like the muscle, the sports classic, because those are really broken, and the community, the racing community, have been asking Rockstar to fix that for quite a while. But you guys can let me know in the comment section, like if they were to add a stunt specific class, what kind of vehicles would you like to see in that? And that ties in with the next question from the Sky of Xbox. He says, what vehicles would you like to see in the DLC? He would love to see the go-kart from San Andreas. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. Like I just said, you know, that's definitely a stunting vehicle, and that would fit in a stunt class, but I don't know how many more stunt vehicles they could add. I mean, obviously there's a lot of stunt cars and bikes that they could add, but the question being, would it be worth it for them to add into the game? Because if they're only really practical or useful in these stunt races, are people going to actually buy them and customize them? I guess unless there's like a really insane amount of customization, then maybe, but I don't know what other type of stunt-specific vehicles they could add. One thing, this would fit with this update, and look, I know it's crazy, the jetpack, man. Like, look, this is something that everybody's been wanting for a while, and look, it's a game, so I don't know why people always take stuff so serious, like, oh, jetpacks, that wouldn't fit GTA. But dude, it's been in previous GTAs, like, what do you mean? It's just, it's so cool. It'd probably be a ton of money, don't get me wrong. Hey, maybe that's like the $5 million thing, or even $10 million thing. Like there's yachts and executives and other criminals. Maybe in the finance and felony update, there'll be some other giant thing. Maybe that'll be the organizations you have to pay for. You get some like mansion type organization. And then maybe in the stunting academy, there's a $10 million jetpack. And all of that would tie into all these event weeks. They're giving you constant ways to make money. Having something along those lines does kind of fit if you think about it. Now that obviously wouldn't work in races or anything, but maybe it's something you just equip in your garage. It's like the bikes on the rack. You just go into your garage, equip it, and then it, you know, puts you out, and then you have a jetpack. I don't know. Or maybe it's just something from your inventory. Look, there's so many possibilities there, but would the jetpack not be amazing? And like I said, it would fit with the Stunt Academy update, so there you go. Speaking of the Stunting Academy, still, Josh says, do you think we'll get anything like parkour or hanging from ledges? I don't think so. I mean, there's a mod, I think, out there on PC, obviously, for parkour, but GTA's not really a parkour game. I think they're just going to stick with, like, vehicles. Maybe the jetpack, though, might come, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be any parkour. Michael, with the next question, what are you looking forward to seeing most in the future DLC? Honestly, I'm just looking forward to seeing all the races that people can create. Like, and this may not be everyone's opinion, but for me, racing in the game, like with friends and with you guys, subscribers and live streams, that is some of the most fun I've had, like playing these awesome custom jobs. And now that we're gonna have more tools and more props and stuff to actually use, or like the creators can use, I'm really excited to see what people can create. Ivan, with the next question, do you think Michael or Franklin will be coming in a DLC? For example, like Lester did with the heists. That's an interesting question. Although, to be fair, online does come out, or it takes place like a few months before the events of single player happen. So wouldn't Michael, well, I guess no. I haven't played single player in a while, but when did like Michael, his whole North Yankton thing happen? Was that way before online? I don't know. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comment section. But then Franklin, like, he wasn't really doing much before online. You know, he was kind of a nobody. So I don't really know how they could tie Michael or Franklin into a DLC like they did with Trevor or Lester, like you say. But it would definitely be pretty cool. I mean, they did Lamar, so I definitely wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities for Rockstar to include either one of them in a future DLC. Mr. Monkey says here with the next one, do you think there will be more unnecessary adversary mode weeks that no one asked for? So look, I know not many people like the adversary modes, but I feel like at least now they're getting a bad rep. Like before, when they were just releasing them and they didn't give us any information about future DLC, yeah, I could totally understand that because nobody really liked them. There was just so many problems, like they weren't that fun. Like some of them were fun, but most of them were just basically copies of community-made jobs or, you know, game types that are already in the game. But at least now that we know, they sort of have an idea of where they're going. Obviously the Finance and Felony, the Stunt DLC, and then whatever else is next. I feel like the adversary modes are just something for us to play with between these big updates, and I'm kind of fine with that. I mean, I don't really like them, and I doubt I'll play them that much, but for the people who play GTA Online constantly, you know, it might be a fun thing to do every now and then. I mean, I would, if they were going to continue doing these adversary modes, do it like they did with the January update. Like, in between these big updates, you know, there's the Stunt, there's the Finance and Felony one. Maybe when they drop a adversary mode, they can drop a car or two, like the Sultan or the Banshee. Like, leave the new cars that haven't been in GTA for the big DLCs, and then during these smaller, just filler little updates, they could, you know, they could bring some cars that are already in the game and just give them new life, like the Adder or the Feltzer or the Karen Kuruma. Bring those to bennies. I think that would go over a lot better than just a single adversary mode. Steve, with the next one, do you think a stunt mod shop would be a good idea if it came with the Cunning Stunts DLC? Yes, I do, and I don't know if it's going to be part of like Benny's or if they're going to make an actual new mod shop. I guess the best thing they could do is just to incorporate it with Benny's, but then let's have some more Benny's locations, because I'm tired of just going to that one Benny's, because there's so many people always there. Like when a new DLC comes out, maybe if we could have one like up north and in Sandy Shores, that would be nice. But yeah, I definitely think a mod shop is going to be coming with that DLC, just because if they're adding a bunch of stunt ready cars, and if they're going to bring some like new modifications to some of the cars that are already in the game, what better way to do all that stuff than go to its own new or separate mod shop? Almost done with the questions, but Mitchell says, how are we going to run an organization if our VIP time is limited, or can anyone run one? This is going to be the most interesting question. Now, obviously, I don't have an answer for this, but since the time limit on VIPs is 4 hours, it is going to be interesting to see how they incorporate that with these organizations. Maybe they'll actually do something that the community likes and just get rid of the 4-hour time limit. That would be a lot better, but I'm not entirely sure how they're going to fit that with everything. And then the last question from Call of Minefield V. Nice name, man. Do you think that Rockstar has even more in store that they aren't telling us about? If you asked me this before they had their little newswire last week, I would say no. You know, they're just releasing these adversary modes, maybe until E3 comes out and they can announce Red Dead, whatever the next game is, or whatever else they're working on. But I definitely think they have more in store now. Like, the game isn't dead, I guess you could say. Like, they're not done working on it. The Stunt DLC, that'll be something that a lot of people play, I feel, and have fun with. And then the Finance and Felony one, you know, they're taking, or they're making one of their most popular DLCs and improving upon it. So I definitely think they have more in store. Going back to the video I made a few days ago, are they going to be bringing back cut content? That's a possibility if they already have it like semi-worked on. As you guys know, there's so many DLC ideas and concepts that have been made for GTA, so they have a lot of potential and a lot of places to go. But I definitely think that they have more in store, because the 2 DLCs we have, I feel like that's just their summer DLC, and then they'll release another newswire once those come out, telling us about, you know, the end of the year DLC. Maybe that's another giant DLC like the Executives and Other Criminals were or was last year. But that is the question of the day. You can answer that in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. That is it, though. See you guys in the next one. You can use hashtag AskSaints on Twitter if you want to ask me a question for next week's episode. But thank you guys as always, though. Drop a like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.